Mr. WNBA Hakeem Prophet has started just where he left off 3 weeks into the WNBA season. He's now 8-4 in total plays while hitting 83% in NBA playoff totals, 10-2. Ski's WNBA season is $269, which is now discounted down to $199. Plus, if you purchase this special before Sunday, you will get the rest of his NBA playoff totals for free. To get Hakeem Prophet's WNBA and his NBA totals through the finals, it would cost you $448. But right now, you can lock in all of these plays for just $199.
Hey guys, welcome in here on this Wednesday, another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show powered by WagerTalk.com as we get ready for Game 1 tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals. You got the Milwaukee Bucks at home taking on the Atlanta Hawks and coming off a pretty exciting Game 2 there last night in the Western Conference Finals, although is that final minute of the game over yet? Is the game over? I think it's ended. I don't know. It took 9.5 hours to get through the final 60 seconds, but they did, and it was a victory for the Phoenix Suns. And here to help make heads or tails of all of it, three of the absolute finest. We got Ski Prophet in the house along with Tony Mejia and, of course, the Godfather Teddy Covers here. Looking to break this game down tonight. But, Ski, let me start with you. Hell of a game last night. A lot of fun. A lot of replays. Woo! A little defense would have helped there on that final shot. But Phoenix comes away with the victory, 104-103. How was your evening? And what, if anything, do you have lined up here tonight at Wager?
Yeah, yesterday went backwards in the NBA. I kind of knew I was dead when I saw the starting lineup for the Clippers. You got Beverly and you have Zubac, so I know what kind of game it was going to be for the total. Today, I don't have anything up, but maybe later on in the day, I may like something a little more.
All right, got plenty of baseball on tap here tonight as well. And Tony Mejia, my man, what is going on? I know you got a whole bunch of stuff locked and loaded here today. What's going on at Wager Talk?
Yeah, I've got an NBA 4% play in for tonight's game. Some soccer stuff. Brazil-Colombia tonight. That's a big Copa America matchup. And I'm chiming in on Padres-Dodgers. So lots to offer.
Love that. All right, visit Tony Mejia also at WagerTalk.com. And Teddy in the house. Little birdie told me, Teddy, that they don't come around often. It's kind of like Haley's Comet, but you do have a 5% play up here, I understand, tonight. So talk to us about that, and how was your evening last night?
So it's not quite as rare as Haley's Comet. That was, 1986, I think. And I do release big tickets when stuff stands out. I don't force big tickets, but when something stands out to me, and Game 1 clearly stood out to me, point spread wise, still does, for what it's worth. I have no hesitation releasing. I mean, I'm in good form with the big ticket reports, 4-1 with the last 5, 80% across all sports. The NBA playoffs in general have been pretty good, and across all sports have been pretty good. Last night, unfortunately, my only play was on the Miami Marlins, who squandered chances and lost 2-1. That was a lot of fun to watch. Much less fun to watch than, maybe the equivalent of watching the final minute of the Suns. That was too. I mean, you talk about baseball and the pitch clock and all that. That final minute of regulation, what was that? I mean, it felt like an hour.
It was crazy.
Too many reviews. It's like let it go sometime.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't. I don't know, but it's a problem the NBA is going to have to fix.
Yeah, headbutts. Is the ball in? Is it out? And who's bleeding on who? Like, there was just all sorts of craziness going on in that game. But at the end of it, instead of stealing one, the Clippers, what a shock, heading back home down 2-0. Not like we haven't seen that before. We'll take a look at that series price. We'll get you those updated numbers here in just a few, but let's dive into it, guys. Game 1 tonight, Eastern Conference, comes with a John Ryan from SportsMemo.com, our good friend John Ryan over there, with an angle of the day. And the angle today has to do with betting on the totals, in this case an under, with an NBA playoff team that closed out the previous series in 6 or 7, and they did it with a road win. Also, the team, in this case the Bucks, has at least one more day of rest than their new opponent, in that case being the Hawks. So we're looking at 12-5, 71% under the last 10 NBA playoff seasons. And that would be the recommendation with this angle, betting the under in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So, Teddy, I'm going to come to you first here, my friend. This game opened up somewhere around 7, I believe. I'm seeing 8s pretty much across the board. I'm seeing a total, which is interesting. Opened at 229. I'm seeing 226s, 225.5. So not a whole lot of interest in maybe the over in this game by the marketplace. What do you think? Do you agree with that number of 226?
So, like we talked about earlier, I do have a 5% play up on the side for tonight's game, so I will focus on the total in terms of my analysis. If you want the 5% big ticket play, you can get that right now over at WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com. When we talk about the total for this game, it's we think about both of these teams as fast-paced, free-flowing, three-point shooting, high-scoring, et cetera, et cetera. And yet, I mean, they did play one high-scoring game early, although it wasn't a game where either team was healthy. The 2 late-season meetings both stayed well under the total, 236 and 229 in those games, just to give you an example of how far the markets have tilted towards the under here in the postseason with some of these adjustments that we've had. And throughout the course of this postseason, certainly in both their last series, the Hawks against Philly, why are they here? They're here because they played defense against the 76ers and shut Philadelphia down for extended stretches. Sixers didn't get the highest they got in the last 4 games of that series, 106. And that's Atlanta defense. And that's also 4 straight unders cashing in that series. It's a similar story with Milwaukee. They didn't go over the total in the finale against Brooklyn. Every other game in that series stayed under or pushed. There was one that pushed against the closing number. And if we ask, why is Milwaukee here now and not Brooklyn? They're here because their defense got the job done against the Nets. Now, I know it's different opponents and different styles and all of that, but both of these teams locked in defensively right now. I'm not convinced we see the free-flowing, fast-paced affairs that we might expect between two teams that love to light it up from downtown and love to push pace. I agree with John Ryan. If I'm playing the total in this one, I'm looking at the under.
Looking at the under in this one, and the Hawks and the Bucks, Tony Mejia, for the most part this postseason, where we kept expecting points, a lot of winning tickets to the under for both the Bucks and Atlanta in this postseason. So, what do you think we're going to see tonight in this matchup?
Well, I mean, one thing the Bucks have really excelled this postseason is not allowing corner threes. And so, that's something that Kevin Huerter and Bogdanovic, that's a big part of their offense. So I'm interested in that. They're obviously doing a really nice job in transition defense, but they also get up, they're the team that is able to run up and down. I think they lead the NBA playoffs in points in transition. So, I mean, considering they blew the doors off Miami and then survived Brooklyn, I'm interested in seeing them come out and make a resounding statement at home, with a more rested squad.
So, Ski, it's an interesting matchup for sure. We talked about it, this week about looking at the series price and looking at some of the future prices there of Milwaukee and Atlanta. Obviously, the dog for the whole thing, but when you go into game one like this, what do you think we're going to see up tempo at all? Do you think we're going to see slow it down and let's try to keep this as much half court as possible? What do you think we're going to see here tonight?
I do think there's potential for points because, I've heard plenty of times Nate McMillan says he wants them to speed up. And we know, like Tony mentioned, the Bucks keep playing transition. But just looking at how they've been playing lately, I think I'll lean more towards an under type game. Maybe even more so in the first half. The last I saw the number was like 114 and a half. And both teams have been really solid to the under in the playoffs as of late. So I guess I'll lean with Teddy there. And as far as the side, I would agree. If you like the Bucks, I would probably expect them to come out early. I know that they've advanced from 2 series, but just still not a team that I have the most confidence in late game situations. And the Hawks, they've been a pretty scrappy team. They've covered 4 of their last 5 on the road. So I guess I'll lean Bucks first half. And if I had to play the full game, it might lean towards Atlanta side. And I forgot to mention, though, Nate McMillan, really good defensive coach. So another reason to maybe like the under.
All right, liking the under. Certainly all signs are pointing to the under. I believe Bogdanovich still questionable here. Some injury concerns, obviously, for the Atlanta Hawks. But Trae Young is going to make it a go, and I think that's why Atlanta Hawks backers are excited about what's going to happen tonight. Teddy, let me ask you quickly about the Suns and Clippers. We mentioned last night, obviously, it's a 2-0. It's a 2-0 lead now for Phoenix. Did you see anything? And it looks like Chris Paul's coming back. So was that pretty much the nail in the coffin, do you think, for the Clippers this postseason? Or are they still got a puncher's chance even without Kawhi?
So we've seen the Clips in this exact spot twice already. I mean, so we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think there's any question that when you look at LA, yes, they're up against it right now. And no, I'm not convinced that this is going to be like the first 2 series where the Clippers were able to rally back from behind. That said, do they have a puncher's chance? You bet they do. You know, and we still don't know. Again, if Kawhi were, the markets don't think Kawhi is going to play. I don't think Kawhi is going to play. And if he doesn't play, it's obviously a Clippers team with Morris not at 100%, and that matters a lot. They may well be up against it, but I'm not convinced that the Suns have that killer mentality to go on the road up 2-0 and stick the nail in the coffin. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clips make one more run, at least one more run, before this postseason is done.
Ski, what you've seen from Phoenix without Chris Paul here, in your mind, are they the possible favorites here at plus 105, plus 110 to win it all?
Well, they're going to get Chris Paul back. They may even get him back next game. So, you know, I like Phoenix more than I like the Bucks. I see the Bucks as the favorites up there. And so I'll probably pick them. I just think everybody's pretty defined in their role. I think they have a pretty intelligent coach and a very talented roster. They have a great playmaker, great scorer, great bench, great role players, veterans. They have it all to me. Over Milwaukee, who I'm still not sure about, or not sure. I don't think he's good. Coach Budenholzer. So I'll go with the Phoenix Suns in that regard.
All right, so you like Phoenix. And Tony, what you've seen so far from that series with those guys, does this feel like the same old for the Clippers, or have you seen something that really impressed you here with this Phoenix Suns team?
I mean, it was impressive to see Cameron Payne step up, 29 points and 9 assists. And Dario Saric played a really nice game off the bench. So their depth has really looked improved. And when they get Chris Paul back, Payne can go back to leading that second unit, and they'll be tougher for it. But I mean, that's a game that the Clippers have to hold on to, even with Paul George making a clutch shot matching Devin Booker's late heroics. They held Booker down. They're in the game. Jay Crowder was mostly focusing on defense, and it was Paul George getting in his own head at the free throw line. It was ridiculous to see. That's a guy that makes those free throws in his sleep. So, and he's a legit shooter. He just choked. Can they come back? Sure. I think they can come back, and certainly it would help the cause if Kawhi Leonard's able to play. But I saw Ski didn't love the substitution of Nicholas Batum coming out of the lineup. And I think Batum needs to play more. I'm in agreement with that.
Where the hell's that Patrick Beverly been? My goodness, guy was like a bad rash last night all over Booker. So they're going to need more of that, obviously, as they move forward. Still no word on Kawhi. What else is new? Although I believe, Tony, the Spurs called and said, don't count on it. Let's go ahead, guys. Let's remind you, though, over at WagerTalk.com, where we get to our buzzer beater best bets on this game tonight, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference. Quick reminder here, Ski, Tony Mejia, and Teddy Covers, along with his 5% best bet tonight, guys, up and ready to go at WagerTalk.com. You can also catch Teddy's best bet over at SportsMemo.com. All you got to do, head over there, visit Ski, visit Tony Mejia, get the Teddy Covers page right there for you guys. Plenty of opportunities to make it a profitable Wednesday. Let's talk some best bets here. So, Teddy, I'm going to come to you first here, my friend. 60 seconds on the clock. What's one angle that you're leaning towards here tonight on this game?
Well, let's talk some player props for tonight. Certainly stands out to me. And then there's one name on the list that, we're looking at Chris Middleton right now. What, 37.5? 37.5 on Middleton right now for combined points, rebounds, and assists. And I know Middleton had some very favorable matchups in that series against the Nets. And even with that, he was struggling to get over this number. Look at last time. Last time he played 52 minutes in that overtime game. Never saw the bench. Or we saw the bench for 1 minute of that game and finished with 39. He's been asked to get 37.5 tonight. To me, that seems a little bit rich for Middleton. Maybe more than a little bit rich for a guy who, again, he played enormous minutes against Brooklyn. And I'm not convinced we're going to see Middleton on the floor quite as much, at least at the open of this series. So Middleton under, points, rebounds, assists, one that stands out to me this evening.
There you go. Good stuff there, guys. Teddy's 5% best bet on the game tonight over at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com. Make sure you head over there. And Tony Mejia, talk to us, my man. A lot of different ways to be able to come at this game tonight. Give us one that you're looking at.
Yeah, I think you have to double check before you make this wager that Bogdan Bogdanovic is going to play. I think he will. He left Game 6 of the Sixers series with a knee soreness issue. Tried to play in Game 7, and obviously Kevin Huerter was a big beneficiary of playing time because Bogdanovic wasn't right. They're going to try to get him go. I think Nate McMillan called him a game time decision. On Eastern Conference Finals, I think if he can go, he will play. And with that, I like Kevin Huerter to go under 12.5 points. He was a hero of Game 7 with the 27. He's a guy that's streaky, and Milwaukee, I think, can clamp down defensively. It'll be interesting to see. I was actually a little surprised that the number wasn't higher. So, it's a low bar, but if Bogdanovic plays, maybe Huerter gets in foul trouble. I don't see him cracking 10 points, so I go under 12.5 points. But again, double check Bogdanovic's status before making that bet.
Yeah, Seth Curry, no offense, but certainly not the defender that Chris Middleton is. So I wouldn't anticipate having that easy in a time this series. But good stuff there, Tony. And Ski, coming to you, man, picking it up. You got the final shot, 60 seconds. How you looking at this game tonight?
Well, I have a minute to talk about whatever I want. So
damn straight. Give me the Dodgers.
I just got reminded that once upon a time, just watching them play, all I could think about was Clippers fans used to be so happy that the Lakers gave up Zubac and he was so good and so great. And he just looks terrible now. So there you go, fans. Good luck with Zubac. For my best bets or other looks, player props, I forgot to mention maybe Drew Holiday. He's probably going to give Trae Young a tough time. He's a really good defender, especially when he's going up against smaller guards. He can be physical with them, etc. So I maybe might look towards Trae Young points under or look at Drew Holiday steals over, something like that to play that kind of angle. And if I'm going to play the game right now, which I haven't, I probably would look more towards Bucks first half. I just think that they're healthier, and I think that they'll compete at the house at least for half of the game. Don't trust them in the clutch, but I trust them for one half.
Get it done. First half it is, guys. All right, there you go. Don't forget, WagerTalk.com is where you can find these gentlemen and their best bets here tonight. And as a recap here, once again, if you're just joining us, some of the ways these guys are looking here tonight, you just heard it. Ski says, give me the Bucks in the first half to come out firing. Tony Mejia thinks Kevin Huerter a little too streaky for his blood. Under 12.5 points here tonight. And Teddy says, Chris Middleton, maybe a little bit more defense than offense. So he's going to go under 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And our good friend John Ryan over at sportsmemo.com thinks the under is in play tonight, guys. 225.5. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference here tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tip off there. Should be a fun game to check out. But don't forget, of course, we'll be back again tomorrow breaking down that next game in the Western Conference. We'll recap this game here tonight and certainly point you in a direction to make it a profitable Thursday. So do yourself a favor, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. You'll get notified when we go live. So, guys, come back, enjoy us again tomorrow for another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. And don't forget, Teddy covers 5% best bet. Locked and loaded tonight in this game. Make sure you head over, visit him at both WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com. You hold Tony Mejia ready to go, Ski ready to go here tonight, guys. They are locked and loaded. Make sure you visit their pages. So best of luck with your bets tonight here, guys, and make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.